So apparently, a New York state judge, this woman is facing removal from the bench after she threatened to shoot a group of Black teenagers at a high school graduation party. And I have that footage, fam. We have the video. Let's bring in the video. Shout out to Keith, who shared this on X. This is crazy. Her name is Erin Gall. So here is the video footage, and then we'll get into the details of the article that are calling for her removal. Listen to this.
We got to get these keys so we can get these guys out of here. All right. I'm just saying, I don't know if you got any more flashlights laying around. Yeah. Keys. They were scuffling and they lost the whole set of keys.
Guess what? They're not going to find them. You have to come back tomorrow to find your keys. You got to leave. You're not.
Okay, let me pause here and explain what's going on for those who are just joining. This was a high school graduation party. So obviously, you know, kids around drinking and all that kind of stuff, which, yes, we know shouldn't be happening. But come on, let's be real. This judge probably did this herself when she was their age. I mean, come on. I think sometimes as we get older, we get a little too harsh on the younger people, knowing that we did some of these things too, like when we were growing up or whatever. But a high school graduation party, the police have been called. They are there on the scene. And for whatever reason, the judge thinks it's her duty to show up and start telling them what to do. Again, the cops are there. From what I understand, they already have it under control, but she wants to make herself the center of attention.
Where's the car? Where's the car?
You gotta call an Uber and get off the property.
This is the car?
No,
that's what I'm saying.
The red one across.
Go hang out at the car. All right. I'm gonna look for these
done.
keys.
You're
Right?
done.
The woman that you hear yelling, that's the judge. And this is not her house. She's saying, get off the property, but I do want you to understand this is not her house.
Get off the property. And that's Judge Gall. I'm a fucking judge. I'm telling you, get off the fucking
Guys, hey,
property.
dude, go wait at the car.
No,
Where's the car?
Judge.
Go to the car.
I don't
I'm
give
about to
a fuck.
So this is her using her position, her title as a judge to threaten people. I'm a judge. Get off the lawn. Notice she is more hostile than the police are. The police are actually pretty calm. She's the one that's acting a damn fool.
Tell your mother you were on a property that you weren't supposed to be at. Go. You're done. You're done. Get out. Officers, you gotta tell them to get off the property.
Right, but they're not. They got nowhere to
I
go.
don't care. They can call an Uber.
I asked them to wait at the
Call
car.
an Uber. They're not gonna find it in this right now.
Go to the car.
I
Go
mean,
to the car.
Jesus, that's
Go hang
finding a
out at the
needle in
car.
a haystack. Get off.
So now she's trying to tell the police officers how to do their job. And I want you to think about it, because this could have gone dangerously wrong. You know, you never know. You walk up on the wrong police officer and you start telling them what to do. And that could have been your last conversation. Like, you never know, right?
Off. You can figure it out.
We're gonna look, man. We have no idea.
Get off the property.
They could be across the street.
Go on a golf ball.
Just go hang out up in the road at your car.
Get off the property. There's a fight here. I don't want anyone on the property. If I have to clear it out, I will. They're not going to find keys. They'll find them tomorrow.
They could be anywhere.
I'm not looking for keys. Guys, don't look for keys anymore, please. I don't care about this kid's fucking keys.
Now that's her telling the police officers not to look for the keys. So from what I understand from this incident, the kids that are trying to leave, apparently one of them or whatever was trying to find their keys so that they can leave. So obviously it's like, you don't have the keys. I mean, how are you going to drive away if you got the keys? Aye.
I do. So
I don't.
relax. It's not even your house. Chill out.
Well, the homeowner probably.
It's my jurisdiction, though.
Oh, okay.
So you hear that? The police officer told her it's not her house. So the footage that you're seeing now, this is from the body cam, the police officer's body cam. He told her it's not her house. And she says that it's her jurisdiction. So she thinks that because this is her jurisdiction, she can just walk around and police the neighborhood. Isn't this wild? And we'll talk about why this is incredibly dangerous when we talk about who is in a position of power and how they choose to utilize that power.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Don't laugh.
I'm
What's
not.
your name?
Capelli.
Capelli. Okay, I'll make sure I tell you. I mean, seriously, you're worried about a trespasser and a fellow.
I mean, a bunch of adults.
Crime, and you're looking for his keys.
So did all the adults giving all these kids booze. So what do you want?
What was that?
So did all the adults giving these kids booze.
No, we don't even know who this kid
Well,
is.
that's what I'm saying. Let's just chill out, all right?
Adult gave his kid booze.
Let's chill out. Let's get rid of them. All right, they're
Why
going.
is he still looking for his keys?
Because he wants to get his car out of here. You don't want to hear all day, right?
I don't care. Tow it. Give it a ticket.
We're trying.
Give it a ticket. It shouldn't be
We're
there.
trying. That's why we're looking.
Kelly, this is ridiculous.
If somebody says, "Hey, I found,"
Let me pause. This is her. This is Erin Gall right here. This is the woman losing her shit.
whatever, I found the
I'll
keys.
call
and
you if
give
I
them to
find.
us,
Yes, but I'm
and
not
we'll
looking
take
for
care
a
of
key.
it.
The car
Yes.
started.
Obviously, the best case scenario would be if the key turned up and we had it and we gave it back to them. They won't come back here looking for it. That's what I'm trying to
Well, if
say.
they come back looking for it, I'll call you when they're on the property. Because you want to find them on the property, I'll call you when they're
I
on
want
the
them to not
property.
come back.
Why does she need to call the police if they're back on the property when the police officer has already explained that the property is not her property? So why is she policing someone else's property? And I'm assuming the gentleman that's standing next to her, I'm assuming this must be either a husband or a friend or whatever. But it's just like, at some point, I feel like someone needed to check her and tell her, like, you know what? You need to let them do their job and you need to go home. You need to go home. But it gets worse. Hold on.
At all. That's what I'm sure you
If they
want
did,
as well.
they'll be arrested.
Right.
Or they'll be shot on the property.
Well, I'm just letting you know that
Because
the best case
when they
scenario,
trespass, you can shoot them on the
They
property.
should just come here and just.
No, I'm just saying.
Every day.
I'll shoot them on the
No,
property.
no.
Did everybody hear what she just said? She said, or you can shoot them. This part right here. Listen to what she says.
That's what I'm trying to
Well, if
say.
they come back looking for it, I'll call you when they're on the property. Because you want to find them on the property, I'll call you when they're
I
on
want
the
them to not
property.
come back at all.
I'll call you when they're on the property,
That's what I'm sure you
If they
want
did,
as well.
they'll be arrested. Or they'll be shot on the property.
Well, I'm
or they'll be shot on the property. So do you see how what she's doing? So again, she's a judge. She knows the law. That police officer knows the law. Look at what she's pushing for. Isn't this insane? Again, for those just joining, this was a high school graduation party. The police were already there clearing the kids out. I'm assuming she called the police. This was not her property. She decided to butt her nose in it because as a judge, she said it's her jurisdiction. So she took this to another level when at this point, the police actually were de-escalating the situation, which we don't see a lot of times. But she showed up and made things worse. Then she goes on to say this.
just letting you know that the
Because
best case
when they
scenario.
trespass, you can shoot them on the
They
property.
should just come here and just.
No, I'm just saying.
Every day.
I'll shoot them on the
No,
property.
no.
Now, she just said this in front of the cop. This is a New York judge who said in front of the police officer that she will shoot them on the property. Now, why is this a problem? Why is this a problem? Look at her, guys. Don't miss that face. That is Erin Gall. And again, I'm assuming this must be her significant other standing next to her. This is a judge. Why is this a problem? This is someone that is in a position where a lot of people come through her courtroom. Imagine if one of these kids came through her courtroom. Do you see how she's behaving outside of the courtroom, ready to take matters into her own hands? I'll shoot them on the property, she says. So how do you think she would treat those kids if they came into her courtroom? She's more than likely to give them a harsher sentence. She's not even just asking them to leave. This woman wants them dead. This is insane. And she's a judge? How many cases has she presided over? How many cases went through this woman's courtroom? And maybe there should be some checking to see if she was fair with those cases. Now, rightfully so, this story did get out in New York. So we do have to go to this. This was upstate New York. And she was called out on it. And they want her gone. Upstate New York judge faces removal over racially offensive rant at a graduation party. See, when I tell you it's the system, this is a perfect example of the system being a part of the problem. Everybody doesn't get a fair shot in the courtroom, in the criminal justice system. New York judicial watchdog has decided that an Oneida County judge should be removed from the bench because of a racially offensive, profane, prolonged public diatribe outside a high school graduation party. State Supreme Court Justice Erin Gall invoked her judgeship with police during a confrontation that arose at the July 2022 party in New Hartford, according to the Commission on Judicial Conduct, which recommended her removal. The party held at the home of a friend of the family. Everybody hear this? A friend of the family. Swelled as word spread across social media and erupted into a melee between some teens. The party included a beer in a keg. In meetings with the commission, Gall acknowledged her ethical lapses. Neither she nor her attorney could be reached immediately for the comment. She has been a state Supreme Court justice since 2012. So again, I say to this, how many cases did this woman preside over, and how did she treat the people who came through her courtroom? I mean, hell, it's one thing to say these kids are too damn loud, I need for them to leave. It's another damn thing for you to show up there when the police are already trying to get them to leave and you say you would shoot them. It goes on to say, Gall multiple times told responding police who were trying to de-escalate the situation that she was a judge. She tried to direct them to who should be arrested, despite what police saw as a lack of evidence, commission reports show. Her son was among those involved in fights, records say. So you see this? I mean, obviously she's not going to want to shoot her son. When one officer told Gall that she wasn't even at her home, she answered, "It's my jurisdiction, though." And we went through the comments. Here's some here. Erin Gall comments captured on video, encouraging police to arrest Black teens who were allegedly involved in some of the scuffles. She said, "They don't look like they're that smart. They're not going to business school, that's for sure." She had informed the police that her son would be attending business school. So again, is that the same mentality that she had when there were Black people in her courtroom? They don't look like they're that smart. It goes on to say here, we talked about the shooting on the property part. Listen to this part. What New York Judge Erin Gall said about the party comments. In meetings with the commission and a referee, Gall acknowledged that she appeared to be seeking preferential treatment by invoking her office. She once threatened to call the police officer superior, which also gave the impression that she wanted special treatment because she is a judge. Her statements about the Black teens created at least the appearance of racial bias. Gall told the commission that she reacted emotionally because both her son and her husband, who she tried to intervene, ended up involved in fights. She said she also was frustrated because she thought the police response was inadequate. Gall said she was assaulted when a college student in 1990, and the graduation melee reminded her of that assault and triggered an extreme emotional response. So again, this is not an excuse for her to behave the way that she did. And it's just, again, this is someone abusing their power, and that is problematic. Now, do all judges do this? No, they don't. It goes on to say what the panel found. The commission, however, found her transgressions severe enough to warrant removal. She repeatedly violated the ethical rule prohibiting judges from lending the prestige of their judicial office to advance their own private interests or the interests of others. It is utterly unacceptable for a judge to threaten gun violence, exhibit racial prejudice, promise favorable treatment for the police, or disparage a law intended to keep guns away from dangerous people. Any one of these things would undermine public confidence in the administration of justice. It says Gall has been the justice of the Supreme Court, 5th Judicial District, since 2012. Her current term expires December 31st of 2025. This was a New York Supreme Court judge. And so when I tell you that the system is corrupt and that the system is not fair and the criminal justice system is very problematic, this is a perfect example.